Well, we're ready to expose the latest liberal lunacy that's got the swamp shaking in its boots tonight, and it's quite the doozy. And of course, we've talked about it straight out of the U.S. House Oversight Committee, where they dropped the hammer on what we've all been calling the autopen presidency of Joe Biden. That's right, folks. The committee has deemed this morning all of President Biden's executive actions, every single one of them, including those shady pardons, null and void. Performed by White House staff, signed by an autopen machine, no real presidential hand involved. It was like running the country with a rubber stamp and a ghost in the Oval Office. Can you believe this? Well, of course you can. We've been talking about it. The committee is now demanding an immediate investigation by Attorney General Pam Bondi. They're calling on the U.S. Department of Justice to conduct a thorough review of these so-called executive actions and to scrutinize those key Biden aides who took the Fifth Amendment faster than you can say cover up to hide their slimy participation. As Representative James Comer put it, quote, "We have provided Americans with transparency about the Biden autopen presidency, and now there must be accountability." Amen to that, Congressman. The findings expose a full-blown constitutional crisis. Biden's autopen-driven pardons and executive actions lack any verified presidential consent, rendering them legally void. Void, folks, as if they never happened. Now let's talk about the Pardon Transparency and Accountability Act, something the Biden crew completely ignored like it was yesterday's fake news. It mandates justice impact statements and victim input for clemency. But no, Biden's team just bulldozed right through, with aides invoking the Fifth to shield their roles in this whole scam. Constitutional scholars, real ones, not the liberal hacks on CNN, are unanimous. Pardons can't be delegated, especially when the guy's dealing with cognitive decline. This whole autopen pardon fiasco reeks of bureaucratic malpractice, my friends, using a machine to sign clemency orders for politically connected insiders. It undermines the integrity of executive authority like nothing we've ever seen. If Biden couldn't physically approve thousands of these pardons, that's a glaring admission of incompetence, pure and simple. And get this, Attorney General Bondi herself said today, "My team has already initiated a review of the Biden administration's reported use of autopens for pardons. Representative James Comer's new information is extremely helpful, and his leadership on this issue is invaluable. We'll continue working with GOP oversight to deliver accountability for the American people." Accountability is coming, and it's got Pam Bondi's name all over it. Taxpayers deserve to know if unelected staffers weaponize that autopen to shield their allies from justice. The Oversight Committee's findings scream systemic abuse, not some innocent procedural shortcut. Every single autopen pardon must be scrutinized. Justice isn't a bulk print job, folks. Every one of them must be looked at. The details behind these mass autopen pardons demand daylight, and Bondi's DOJ must investigate every clemency action to see if Biden's signature was forged or coerced. This isn't partisan politics, by the way. It's about enforcing Article 2's mandate that pardons require conscious presidential intent, not staff overreach. And while we're at it, the D.C. Board of Medicine should revoke licenses for any physicians complicit in hiding what we all saw, Biden's incapacity. Accountability starts with voiding every autopen order lacking traceable consent. What else is there? Well, remember, 30 million funneled from China, Ukraine, and Russia through 20-plus shell companies of Biden's, Fauci's COVID lies, January 6 forged documents, Hunter Biden's foreign cash grabs. It should all face accountability. That's strong evidence that these autopen pardons were void from the get-go. No surprise there, but it'll be pointless to litigate this in front of left-wing judges in D.C. who probably will tell us autopens are a civil right. But here's where it could get juicy. The conspiracy to frame Donald Trump, a coordinated effort by the Department of Justice under Biden, elements of the intelligence community, and political operatives to weaponize federal law enforcement against Trump through indictments on classified documents, election interference, and other charges. All of that clearly has a nexus with Judge Eileen Cannon's courtroom in Florida. Could this DOJ reasonably argue that the autopen was used as a protective mechanism in a bigger scheme? The autopen hijackers were granting pardons to protect the overall scheme and the conspirators. The pardons essentially were the escape hatch. Biden's pardons are a confession, a multi-layered plot. DOJ frames Trump, thwarted by Cannon, thank God. Then Biden insiders pardon enablers via the autopen to evade accountability. Trump's DOJ, per the Oversight report, now could argue this under conspiracy statutes 18 U.S.C. 371, claiming obstruction of justice or false statements if aids forged approvals. Bondi's probe, echoing Trump's order, targets competence and advantage-taking, quote-unquote. If emails, thousands of them reviewed already by the New York Times, no less, show irregularities, it will bolster the case. Trump's DOJ will enjoy prosecutorial discretion to investigate, and the Oversight report provides a roadmap. Undocumented approvals could void actions under the administrative law, enabling charges against hijackers for forgery, 18 U.S.C. 471, or conspiracy. Linking to Trump's framing requires showing intent. Pardons as cover-up for DOJ misconduct per Jack Smith's alleged overreach in Eileen Cannon's courtroom. The nexus between Cannon's courtroom victories and Biden's autopen pardons paints a compelling picture of a self-preserving conspiracy. Frame Trump, pardon the framers. Trump's DOJ could reasonably pursue this, leveraging congressional findings for investigations that erode Biden's legacy and deter future probes. But as we all know, until arrests happen, it's just another D.C. spectacle. Prosecute, or it's all just noise. The evidence is now on the table. And that's tonight's first word.